Here we go. Wait, is Eric back?
I'm back.
Okay. I know you stepped off for a moment as we were checking this
I had
sheet.
to refresh my tea a little bit, give it a warm up, and try to add some more honey to it.
Give it a zhuzh.
Give it some zhuzh.
Zhuzh it up. All right, here we go. Hello and welcome.
Are we recording?
Yep.
Oh, hang on.
Oh, I was recording this whole time, so.
Oh, I just started. Okay. And I'm ready, and I'm going to mute.
All righty. Well, don't mute yet because you might have to say something. Hello and welcome to Plus One to Gaming. I'm Chris.
And I'm Eric.
And joining us once again are lifelong friends and table mates, Billy and Mark. Hey guys.
Hello. How's it going?
Pretty awesome because we've been playing through the first adventure in Candlekeep Mysteries, the Joy of Extradimensional Spaces. And when we last left off, you guys were in a little bit of a pickle. So how about we do a quick recap and jump right back into where we left off? All right. After escorting Bongo, the Furbolg trader, to Candlekeep, you presented your own contributions to the library and gained access. Taking some time to unwind after the long trip, one of the Avowed tasked you with an urgent mission. One of the adjuncts, Professor Matrius, was scheduled to leave a class and has gone missing. You were assigned a handler, a young tiefling named Irony, and you made your way to the missing professor's research quarters. After searching the room, you found a book on extradimensional spaces. Reading the notes in the margin, you uncovered a passphrase that opened a portal in the middle of the room. And on the other side, you found yourself in a mansion surrounded by swirling green miasma. Thankfully, the professor had recently stumbled through the portal himself and was not far off. He'd been trapped here and did not know the exit passphrase, but he bid you search the mansion, find the passphrase, and any other interesting notes or artifacts like the onyx imp he showed you when before he left while he taught his class. You agreed, but as the portal closed behind the professor, you heard him shriek in terror. You're now standing alone in the foyer of an elegant mansion. The green miasma continues to swirl outside, casting a pallid, undulating glow. A hallway extends to your left and to your right. What do you do?
So I'm not going to say I called it, but I mean, you guys heard what I said. I totally called this. I don't like being here, so we should just figure out how to get out and get out. I mean, if you find things on the way, that's cool, but I just don't want to be here anymore.
Yes, being here sucks.
I've never appreciated being trapped, so I say we find that password and get out of here.
Did the professor say what the password would look like?
I don't think so.
Is it written on an ankh? Is it in a book? Do we know?
No, he didn't say anything about it. I mean, the other one was written in his journal, so I don't know where it originally was found. So that's a good question. I mean, it was definitely copied from somewhere else. I guess we'll just have to keep our eyes open for anything with writing on it.
Yeah, he must have copied it from maybe another scroll or book of some sort. A carving, engraving that's hidden somewhere, perhaps. Maybe we should just search and look for anything that seems to not be part of the building, anything that's been carried in, changed, moved, like it's been used often.
When you described this place, was there like dust everywhere? I don't remember.
You haven't really taken a moment to... You got like a kind of cursory description, which I'm happy to read again if you want. Or you can just... You haven't taken a moment to like really examine your surroundings closely.
I will do that. I will take a moment to examine my surroundings closely.
So you notice that this mansion is very luxurious. It is well kept. Not over extravagant, but it is definitely what you would consider high class. That may or may not register to a lizard folk who has no time for such vanities, but there's brass and bronze fixtures. The doors are made of fine, iron-bound oak. The furniture is of a deep brown wood, and there are oil lamps sort of creating just like little faint pockets of light throughout. It is very clean, and it doesn't look, it's not like run down, scary, dilapidated. It looks like very well kept and modern. I mean, modern for the time.
Okay.
It doesn't look like it will be easy to trace new activity. There's no dust on the floor or on fixtures.
Does it look like it would be easy to keep track of where you are in this mansion, or does like everything kind of look similar? And with like the haze of the miasma, does it look like if we didn't keep track of where we were coming from, we would get lost, or is it something that it's just like a normal mansion in that we, as long as you're not, as long as you're paying attention, you can figure out where you came from?
It seems like you are, aside, swirling green miasma aside, it seems like you're in just a very beautiful, well-designed mansion. It's not overtly complicated. It seems like you're in a house, like someone's house.
I don't know. I guess we'll pick eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I don't know how you do it here in this plane, but we'll just randomly choose a direction and keep going that way. I mean, I'm pretty good at keeping track of where we're going, so I mean, don't think we're gonna get lost, but I think you're right that I have no idea where someone's been, or even if someone's been for a while. Like, we don't know how old this is or when it was created, so we will just start looking, I guess.
All right, so you're presently standing in the foyer. Behind you is the double doors that you kind of entered through via portal. The ceilings arch about 15 feet overhead, and long hallways stretch out to either side of the foyer. In front of you, facing opposite the door that you entered, there is a door to, chambers, and that door is slightly ajar, and then there's the hallways that extend to your left and to your right. And looking down them, you see doors. If you look to the left, down that hallway, the doors are on your right. If you look down to the right, there's doors on your left side. You also see a staircase leading up.
So Cheruvian's going to go and peek into that open door and start kind of exploring around, seeing if he can see any signs of people.
Sure. I wish Rolf was on this adventure with you. Your dog would be making great Foley for it. For him.
Shit.
It's cool. Don't worry about it. All right. So you peek into this room and you see a floor-to-ceiling bookshelf. There's books everywhere. Even more books are resting on several large scarlet armchairs and small wooden tables. And you notice several paintings on the wall. As you look in and trace your eyes, you see that a fluffy black cat is curled up on one of the chairs.
So as soon as I see the black cat, I'm going to go and start baby talking the black cat and, oh, look at the pretty little kitty. Meow. And start petting the cat if it lets me. While everybody else is kind of exploring, my focus first is the kitty.
Yeah, as you enter, the cat sits up and does like a little circle. Come over, roll an animal handling check.
11.
So you're petting the cat and it's nuzzling you. Meow. You know it's hungry. It wants food. It rolls over and shows its belly to you, and it's doing those little flirty rolls to try and coax you into giving it something delicious to eat.
Cheruvian's going to call out to Levo. Do you still have any of the mice that we killed from before?
Their bodies have been cleaned and their bones have been turned into tools and trinkets. I could do the same with this animal if you would prefer.
No, I think it's of use to us.
Don't you dare. I will literally fight you if you try to hurt this cat. So all the field rations that we have aren't really cat friendly. They're designed for, longevity. So trying to think, is there anything that we would have that is edible to a cat?
Yeah, Cheruvian's searching his bag, but can't find much of anything.
Maybe, oh, this poor little kitty's hungry. I mean, maybe there's a kitchen somewhere in this house or something that has some food, because, I mean, I don't think the kitty wants to have some of our hardtack or jerky. I mean, I just can't imagine that being, cat food.
Yeah, good point. I wonder where he's searched before. He might have come from somewhere where there's food, or if someone's taking care of him, he might have come from where he is. I'll try to track and see if I can see where this cat's come from. So Cheruvian will I want to do a check to see, like, does this cat have somewhere it normally goes to? Does it have like a route it takes to hunt, or does it go run off to the kitchen to be fed by a human every once in a while and then come here to sleep? Basically trying to see if there's anything I can figure out, since the cat's the only thing I have and I like animals. Like, if it goes anywhere, then maybe we can use that to find out where its food is.
Yeah, certainly.
Or
So
follow it.
Presently it's it's working its rounds on Cammy. You notice that I don't think that you need to roll a check to this. You notice that it is a very well-fed cat. You also notice it's wearing a collar around its neck.
Well, okay. Well, we'll check the collar for a tag or something along those lines. See what's up with the collar.
It says buttons, and it's made out of a button.
Buttons? That's a cute name for a cat. It seems to like you, Cammy.
And the feeling is mutual. Yeah. Did you figure out where it goes for its food, or are we just going to start looking?
Must not go far, fat cat like this.
So as you guys discuss the cat, it eventually just gets bored with you and slinks out the door that was left ajar.
Following that cat.
You follow
If
the
it
cat?
goes somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we followed the cat.
You follow that cat. So the cat slinks out the room through the narrow door. It takes a left out of the room. It walks just past the staircase and toward another room that with the door is also slightly ajar. You notice that there is a glow coming from this room. And you kind of, as you get closer to it, you just kind of like smell the aromas of a kitchen. And as you get close, the door is left, slightly open. So you kind of peek in and you can see an iron stove and tables. You see large racks lined with pots, pans, and cooking utensils.
Is there any food storage, or ice box, or nearby, like stairs to a root cellar or anything like that, where they would store the food?
Are you entering the kitchen?
Yeah, like I mean, we're gonna look through once we see the kitchen. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna enter the kitchen.
Okay. You pop through the kitchen.
I think we found the kitchen.
As you enter, you see two small forms land next to you on the table. They're peculiar-looking creatures. They're kind of just like these spherical blobs with long, spindly arms and legs, and what looks to be like bat wings. One is kind of orangish colored. The other is kind of bluish. And they bow deeply to you and say, "Oh, hello. How can we be of help to our honored guests? Cooking? Cleaning? Mending your clothes, perhaps?" And they look up at you eagerly.
Oh, I didn't know this room was occupado. Hello. We are just looking to get this adorable little kitten Buttons some food. Do you have cat food around here? I mean, I'm sure that, judging by it, it's not going hungry, but I mean, let's be honest, it's probably always hungry. So what's a little bit more extra food right now?
Oh, yes. No need to mind the cats. Buttons, come get your food. And one of them flies off, and you also see over kind of farther down the kitchen, there's various ceramic bowls on the floor and a number of cats just kind of going in, meowing, eating, and licking themselves. Oh, and then the other one looks at you and says, Is there anything that you require? Some tea, perhaps? Something to eat?"
I don't want to be cliche or anything, but we really need our answers. Where are we, and who are you?
Oh, well, welcome to Festandia's mansion. My name is Coriander, and that there is Cumin. And you see the other creature busy feeding the cats. We are the caretakers here.
Do you say Fistandia?
Yes, the great and powerful wizard, Festandia. This is her home, and she is my creator.
I would very much love to meet Fistandia. Where is she? I'd tell her how absolutely adorable her kitties are and this marvelous house.
Oh. And suddenly you see Coriander kind of look a little sad for a creature with kind of expressionless face. Oh, Festandia has been gone for some time. How long has it been? 5 years? 500 years? Or maybe a fortnight? Homunculi don't have much use for time.
Well, Coriander, we are looking to head back, and I know that we got here through some wizardry, and we don't really know how to get out. Is there could you just help us to maybe Fistandia's office or her study? Do you know where that could be?
Oh, yes, the study. Yes, you are welcome to use the study. Just go out this kitchen, turn right, and it's the first door on your right. Don't go up the stairs. And that's the study. Just, Pistandia and Freyat always warned us never to touch the books with the letters on them.
Don't all books have letters on them? What does that mean exactly?
It looks at you and shrugs.
Well, do you want to go check out that study, I guess? Think that's probably the best place to start. I mean, it may have some clues on how she got out of here, if not where she went.
Is that the room we just came from?
I don't know. Is that the room that we just came from?
Yes, it is.
Do you know how to leave this place, Coriander?
Leave this place? We don't leave the kitchen. This is where we live. We were told by Festandia and Freyat that we should stay here and serve, and that is our greatest desire and only wish.
Who's Freya?
Oh, Freyat. And the other homunculus flies over to you. Freyat is the one who created me. He is my master.
Where's
Is
your
he
master?
gone as well?
Yeah, good question.
Where is Freyat? I do not know. He could be gone 5,000 years, it seems.
You guys are terrible at telling time. I would definitely invest in a calendar. It would definitely help out a lot. But
what is time?
do you remember before they left? Did they ever say something? Just every time that they left, they'd say something that's always seemed a little funny and out of place.
Yeah, yes. While you've mentioned it, they always say, Coriander, don't forget to clean up the kitchen. And I never quite understood what they meant by that. Maybe it was to clean the kitchen.
Well, I don't really want to look through every single book, and I just think I can't imagine that being the best option as of now. So, do you want to continue looking on this first floor, and maybe we'll find something interesting that'll help us?
Try the phrase.
Coriander, remember to clean up the kitchen.
You're not the boss of me.
Yeah, I think we should search the grounds more before committing to looking through all the books, especially if there's certain books that we shouldn't touch. That makes me a bit nervous. They could be cursed or portals to yet another dimension I'll get locked in. The Truvian's gonna go back out in the hallway and start looking for some other rooms to explore.
Yeah, I think that's to go and just make an inventory of what rooms are there. I don't know, do a full search of each room immediately is, I think I'd like to just walk around and just see what rooms are here. And then we can circle back to the interesting rooms afterwards, at least on the first floor.
Sure. Just
Sounds like a plan.
describe where you want to go.
All the doors were on one side of the hall, correct? You said, the hallway leads, because the hallway has windows outside, so all the doors on the inside of the hallway, correct?
Yes. So if you were to, looking outside of the kitchen, that would put you out in the main hallway that leads to the foyer. If you look to your left, you see another door on the left-hand side of the wall. You see a door at the end of the hallway to your left. Looking to your right, you immediately see a staircase leading up. Past that, you see the door that you entered the study. You see 2 more doors on your right, and you see another door at the far end of the hallway.
Okay, we'll just maybe follow the hallway left, because we came from the right, which is right.
Yep.
He's right and right again is the guy. So if we go left out of the there and then just follow the left wall, the left wall rule.
You're going left out of the kitchen, is that right?
Yeah, left out of the kitchen and then just follow that left wall, not going up any stairs, but just tracing the left wall all the way around and then looking inside any door that we see.
Cool. So you move on to the next door, and this door is closed.
Try to open it.
It is unlocked and opens.
What room is it inside?
You peek in, and you see large windows forming the entirety of one wall. Looking out, you see 3 planted beds filled with vegetation. Within the room, you see a crystal chandelier hanging above a table made of dark wood. 6 wooden chairs with scarlet cushions surround the table. A 7th chair sits alone in the far corner.
I don't know if this is the meeting room or what. I mean, this is a very large table. Sounds like they're holding important meetings. I do like the ambiance, the greenhouse style, but I don't know. Do you want to? Let's just keep looking on and remember the greenhouse /
I
meeting
believe
room.
it's a dining room, Kimmy. I believe.
Oh,
it's adjacent to the kitchen.
This is where you eat.
I believe.
Interesting.
It looks like a hall for eating.
Sounds interesting, I guess. Let's continue on, I guess.
Where do you go?
Okay. We'll check the next door along that wall adjacent to.
Yes.
Or is there another one,
So-
or is it the one at the end of the hall now?
Well, Teruvian, you also notice your assumption that this is the dining hall that's adjacent to the kitchen is correct. You see a door that leads into the next room, which was the kitchen that you were just in.
Ooh.
So exiting the kitchen, you see a door to your left, and that door, just having been in that last room, you know that's the door out to that vegetation, that greenhouse. Does that make sense?
Wait a minute, exiting the dining room or exiting the kitchen?
So in the dining room, there was a large window, like the wall.
Yeah.
One of the walls was just a window to, a little garden outside.
Okay.
When you exit the kitchen and turn left, there's a door. That door leads to that.
You mean exit the dining room and turn left?
You exit the dining room, turn left. There's a door.
Gotcha.
Yes,
There's a door
lead you.
That leads to the greenhouse.
Yeah,
that leads outside to a greenhouse.
correct.
And that greenhouse can be seen through the windows of the dining room.
Yes. It's like a full glass wall.
I think Truvian would look. I'll go and look at the plants. Can I do scan for anything kind of, I don't know, familiar or interesting about the nature that he sees?
Yeah. So let's describe what you're doing. Are you going into the arboretum, or are you looking at it from the dining hall?
He's just looking through through the dining hall.
Okay. So does that mean like you guys went into the dining hall?
Yeah, he had so he's like, I believe this is a dining hall, and like had walked in at that point and is kind of drawn towards the nature he sees through the window.
Okay, gotcha.
So he's in the room, yeah.
Okay, perfect. That's good context. What's the rest of the party doing in the meantime?
I think Levo's staying close to everybody, so if they walk into a room, he'll walk with them. So if he goes into the room, I go into the room.
Yeah, I'm just following along as well.
So go ahead and roll a nature check, Teruvian, and let's see what you can ascertain from these plants.
Oh no. I rolled a 6.
So looking at this vegetation, you see things that are exotic. You see things that are outside of the range of your normal repertoire from the Underdark. Some of these are just very confusing to you. They just don't based off of your knowledge of those types of like fungal varieties and tubers and such from the Underdark. And these are just weird alien plants. You do notice 2 drift globes floating in the arboretum, providing light for the plants.
2 drift globes?
2 drift globes,
Ooh.
which you think is weird because it's like, why would a plant need light? This is stupid. But you're also a drow.
This is some real above ground shit going on in here.
Leva would like to take a look also, just as she glances around. Does she recognize any of the plants?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a nature check as well.
18 plus 2, 20.
Wow, Levo knows her vegetables.
She eats a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so I think in a similar fashion of Elder Scrolls, you've probably tasted quite a few of these regents through your travels. You can tell this is maybe some kind of wizard's garden. You see things that are being grown that are commonly used for reagents and potions and things of that like. To put it another way, these things are grown pragmatically.
This garden is made for potions and regents, not for eating.
Who's got the heavy dice?
Your DM, let's roll for initiative.
Oh no!
What did you do, Levo?
I said they weren't for eating.
Well, so as you are examining these plants and your back is turned, you hear like a kind of like a snarl, slurping sound. And let's see who is standing there. I think Teruvian, you're standing there, and you feel a chair try to bite you. All right, so that is 18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, so this, you're examining these plants, and then suddenly, this, chair, this scarlet wrapped chair, just chomps down on your hind leg, on your hamstring, and you take 5 damage as its teeth sink in through your armor and pierce your skin. It hurts a lot, and you get to move.
All right, Truvian yelps in pain and screams forget about the plants. That's not what's alive. That's not the living thing I'm worried about. Let's see. I'm going to pull out my short swords. Since they're obviously in melee range, I'm going to take some swipes at that chair.
Also, just a heads up, when this thing bits you, you are grappled by it.
Ooh, grappled.
Yeah, so
Okay.
your speed becomes 0, you can't move, so you're basically attached to this thing.
Okay. Alrighty. First one is 21.
That hits.
And then the second attack, 18.
Also hits.
Okay. 4 on the first damage, 7 on the second.
So this thing chomps down on your leg. You shriek out in pain. Instinctively, you pull out your 2 short swords and do a double downward stab at it. You sink them both solidly into this chair's upholstery, and it growls in anger. Is there anything else?
Nope. He's just in shock and pain.
Yeah.
I'm very confused.
Levo, it is your turn.
Okay, Levo wants to move into the fray and hit this chair with her hammer.
Hit that chair.
I'm gonna try. 13 plus 2, 15 to hit.
That hits.
All right, 2d6. It is 10 damage.
What kind of hammer do you use?
A maul.
Is it stick and bone or
It's a rock on a stick.
Cool. Yeah, you bring out your trust. Does it have a name?
No.
Oh,
Why do I name it?
I don't know.
It's a
Levo
rock
might
on a
have
stick.
Skull Crusher or something. That would be kind of
Nope,
cool.
I have no physical attachment to tools.
Okay, you pull out your hammer, +1 hammer of pragmatism, and bring it down fiercely on this chair. You hear the wood fibers and just splinter and crunch under this weighty blow, and it also lets out some semblance of a whimper of pain. Kimmy.
Is there any other creatures moving besides the single chair that I see?
You could roll a perception check to make that assertion.
Yeah, I just wanted to, just to look around real quick to see if there's something else moving.
Well, if you just want to do a quick look around, you don't see anything moving.
Yeah, I'm not going to do a perception check. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
That was the question. Do you want to use your action to do a decisive check, or at the moment nothing is moving aside from this thing and you guys?
Okay. Yeah. So it could be another thing, but I don't want to. I will hit it with Sacred Flame. I will summon a ray of blinding light down. Wisdom save.
It fails.
All right. 4 damage. 4 radiant damage.
You call upon the Raven Queen's blessing, and she answers. What color is the light of the Raven Queen?
Oh, well, she wants it to be rainbow, so it is. It's just like a rainbow beam that hits. It's her name, Amy Rainbow.
Okay, so a prismatic beam of light splashes down and sears into this creature, and it is still trying to cling on to Teruvian, but you can tell that it is exceptionally weakened. It has received grievous injuries, and despite that fact, it is going to chomp down on Teruvian and try and get more of that sweet, meaty haunch. Well, you had advantage, and it still was not up to the task. Teruvian, you feel its energy and vitality fading as it continues to try and bite harder, but its energy is failing, and the once powerful bite that you felt before, I mean, it feels like a child version of this thing trying to meekly bite at you. And it is your turn.
Okay, so he sunk his 2 swords into the upholstery before, and then he's going to try to basically just scissor outward, just break the thing in half.
Cool.
Again with 2 short sword attacks.
Roll those attack rolls.
10 and 8. He's wincing in pain from
Yeah.
being chomped.
So you try to bring your swords back down on to finish off this monstrosity. As you do, it takes an unexpected bite, and another wave of pain surges through your body, causing your concentration to lapse. And the short swords kind of harmlessly clang off of its exterior. You don't feel like you've harmed it. It is Levo's turn.
Levo's a simple lizard folk. She wants to hit this chair or ottoman or whatever that is with a hammer again.
Yeah, chafe this chase. Get it.
Oh shit, that's a nat 20.
All right, do you want to describe, don't even roll damage, do you want to describe how Levo finishes this?
It's good because I didn't have enough dice. Yes, so Levo, standing next to Teruvian, raises her hammer made out of a stick and a rock and just unceremoniously smashes it down upon the top of the chair. The chair splits into splinters. And she looks at Teruvian.
Stop messing with the furniture.
Thank you. I'd take a seat to rest, but I don't trust it.
As this thing goes through its death rattle, it kind of reverts to this amorphous form with a long purple tongue and rows of teeth. You know it to be a mimic.
All right, so I don't really exactly know how this place works, but wouldn't she have had to bring in the mimic purposefully for it to be here? I mean, this is her creation, so...
She brought those cats as well. Maybe she likes collecting weird little animals.
Yeah, but cats are cute. Mimics are... I mean, I guess they're weird? I don't know. They're not cute, that's for sure. I mean, it's a chair. I don't know if a chair's cute or ugly. It can be fancy. Did she... That's the trap. I mean, but I don't know why. I guess I'm going to probably keep our guard up if we're going to keep going into rooms. I don't want to get jumped again just by a mimic pretending to be a mirror or a door or anything else. I mean, all right.
Smash all furniture. Noted.
I vote Cammy goes first.
Okay. So we're there. Which way were you going to go? Were you going to go out the door?
Before I was
You were kinda
attacked
in the
by a
lead before.
chair?
Yeah.
I was just trying to figure out what these plants were that he was cultivating, so I guess we should check the next room over and see what's growing out there. At least there's not as much furniture in that room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think that's what we will do. Let's go check out that greenhouse. I mean, I don't know. Might as well keep going, keep trying. It doesn't seem like there's anything else in this room except for furniture and or fake furniture, dead fake furniture. So Cammy leads the way with her shield out now. She's definitely on guard, and she's going to exit into the hallway and then enter the room, enter the door that's looks like it's going out to that arboretum.
So you exit to the Arboretum, and it's an open space. The glass walls arch upward. Flowering shrubs and small trees grow between the paths that meet in a semicircular patio. There's no sun out. There's that just green miasma, but 2 drift globes float above the plants, bathing them in light. There's colorful blossoms everywhere, exotic-looking plants, and the room smells exceedingly sweet.
Cammy's going to go and take some of the more colorful blossoms, and she's going to pick them, and just a couple of them, and weave them into her armor, and turn to Levo, and hold up her finger like, shh. They don't have to know about this. I mean, they're so pretty.
Are there any particular ones that draw Cammy's attention?
The brightest ones. She is not she knows almost nothing about flowers, as she spent most of her life in the Shadowfell, where there is very little, colorful vegetation, and there's no sun. So she's very used to that, but she doesn't know anything about plants in this realm. So she just finds one with the most colorful flowers. That's where she's going towards.
Cool. I think you look at one, and maybe it looks kind of like a birds of paradise, just very ornate, elaborate, with just lots of stuff going on. Are you collecting these?
Yeah, I mean, not for any reason except for because they're pretty. So she's, like I said, weaving them into like her armor in places just so she has a little pop of color in her outfit.
Perfect. All right, yeah. So you've collected some. We'll just, on your inventory sheet, just call them rare plants, and who knows where they might pop up again. But you have that. What else do you guys do?
So you said that I don't remember what I rolled, but it was good enough to know that Leva knew that these were regions and different things like that. I doubt she would know exactly what they're used for because she's not a wizard or especially smart. Does she know like the names of these things, or like?
I would say I'll let you
like,
determine
watch out, that one's poisonous, basically. Like,
yeah, just like knowing your character, I'll let you, or you let you judge the level of her intellect and what knowledge storage she has. But I would say absolutely safe. Like she would have very primal knowledge of like, this one heals you, this one makes you sick, this one, would know their properties. She might not know the formal name for them, but that's barfweed. Don't eat it. Makes you.
Does she see any, now that she's closer, that she thinks like, oh, tight, that one tastes good, or makes me like cures my heartburn?
Yeah, you know what? Since I think let's do this. You can do some kind of foraging check, and then depending on that,
would that be nature?
I would let you use nature or survival. I think survival would make more sense if you're trying to like forage for something.
Yeah.
That's a 16.
So you do some searching around, and you find some plants that if you consume them will help purge the body of toxins. So roll a d4.
A 4.
Okay, so I think you pick 4 of these chamomile looking flowers. And that if you brew this into like a tea, or maybe even eat just like the petals, it will give you advantage against poison, or maybe help you cleanse the effect of poison.
Tight.
All right, what else are you guys doing?
So it's just like a circular path with plants. I'll do a perception check just to see if there's anything that I notice it doesn't, looking around to see something that doesn't fit in, or something maybe that's hidden, or maybe something like that.
All right, roll for secrets.
It is a secret roll. It is a nat 20. I know that there's probably nothing here, but I mean that's what we're looking around this mysterious mansion looking for secrets. So, secret hunt, nat 20.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you wasted a natural 20 on that.
That is all right.
I think overtly cautious from your last encounter with this surprise mimic, you do a thorough inspection of this room, and aside from these amazing plants, which are just absolutely incredible and very stimulating to you, you don't come up with anything that's out of the ordinary, aside from being trapped in an extra dimensional mansion.
Oh, I think we're done out here. I mean, it's really pretty, but can't imagine the answer to escape is in the pretty garden.
What do you guys do?
So I guess
Agreed. We
I'll-
should
if there-
search on.
Are you exiting the Arboretum?
I will exit the arboretum, and I guess the next door we haven't gone through.
Well, let's not
Except
get
for
too
that,
let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
Okay, we are exiting the arboretum.
As you
It-
move to exit the Arboretum, everyone roll me a Constitution save, please.
Natural 1.
20.
Okay, 10.
Cammy, you're going to walk out and you grab the door and open it. But you notice Teruvian and Levo, all you guys really know, all you can remember from this point on is like a huge wave of sweet smelling euphoria just like fills your nostrils. And you just can't help but just turn around and just kind of wander back into the Arboretum. Cammy, you hear a few little giggles and you feel like a brief gust of wind as this happens.
First, is it a charmed effect? I mean, if it is, then just for Mark, Faye have advantage against charm effects.
Yeah, this one is not.
Okay,
But
that's all I wanted.
didn't, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know if you were trying to discern like.
Yeah, no, I just wanted to make sure that maybe he didn't know that.
No, that's a good. That's
yeah,
a good
I was going
thing.
to ask about that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So they're turning around and immediately go, and I hear a giggle. I will definitely turn back around and, hello, we're leaving. Let's go.
Don't
They
leave
respond?
yet. Don't leave yet.
Do I-
Don't leave.
Who's saying? So I look around to see if I can find where that voice is coming from.
As they talk, like you hear it from different spots. It's difficult to discern.
So
It seems to
just a-
move.
Yeah, it's just a voice. It's not coming from like a person. Okay. Well, I mean, it'd be love. I mean, this is really pretty. I love it. Sorry I took a few of your flowers, but we really have to be going. So I will walk over to, I guess the closest one would, which one that was, and kind of like grab them, like what's going on? Excuse me, what's going on?
To like Teruvian or Levo.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. One of them, like grab them by like the upper arm and like not yank them, but like pull like so that they're facing me because they're facing the other way, I would assume. So like, hello.
Yeah, so like they're kind of floaty, but as you grab whomever and accost them, they kind of like snap out of it.
Okay, and I'll do it to the other one. So I did it to Levo, and then I'll do it to Teruvian, and then as soon as they're out of it, I'm like, there's some weird giggle bitch that's trying to fuck with us right now, and I'm not having it. So she gets her mace and her shield out. She's not happy about this.
Come play with us. Stay and play with us, please. And I guess at this point, we can roll initiative real quick. Or I don't know if it's something you guys actually like. I'm hesitant to use initiative because it's not combat, but.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think when like Teruvian comes out of the daze or whatever, he would instinctively want to know what was happening and like do some sort of perception check or something like, what are you talking about? What's going on?
Yeah. So
and then kind of reassess the room again,
because we can do it in turns and that'll help kind of organize things as things happen. I just don't want things to keep happening to you while you're on, like, at this point, something's going on. You know what I mean? So I'm going to let you guys decide what you want to do. Do you want to search the room? You just kind of awakened. The feeling was like maybe you took like some kind of like really strong puff of pipe weed or tobacco and just like you felt really good, and all you could just help to do is just in this hazy funk, just sit back and relax.
Can I do like a nature or survival check to see like if that's a familiar feeling or what might have caused it? Like, have I had this mushroom before? Is this a whole new thing?
Yeah, go ahead and roll. Yeah, nature?
Can I do a perception check on my own bloodstream?
No.
Dang it. 5. These dang above ground plants.
I think that, you're trying to like make some sense of it, but the lingering effects as they wear off, you're cognizant, just there's still a little bit of haze that's clogging up the works a little bit.
Well, thanks for waking me up, Cammy, but I had no idea what's happening here. Never experienced anything quite like that.
Play with us.
I'm just gonna turn to leave. I mean, if I looked around the room, I didn't see anything. He did look around the room, he didn't see anything. So, I mean,
Just,
what's
like,
just
slowly
stopping us from
back
leaving?
out?
Yeah, slowly back out. Yeah.
Okay. As you back away, you hear them giggle again. No, don't leave. And you, again, like this kind of ultra sweet, it just smells like pure euphoria fills. And I'm sorry, I misspoke. I asked you guys to roll a Constitution save, and I apologize. I need you to roll a Wisdom save.
Even better.
I got a 2 that time instead of a 1. But
Had
that would
18.
that would make mine 4.
Okay.
20.
All right. So you guys are backing out, and you smell this just like cloud of just pure sweet euphoria. It seems to tempt Levo back, and she's walking out with you, and then just nope, turns around and just starts walking back in. But you see her, turn, so you guys don't seem to be affected by it, even though it is intoxicating. But you see that it has affected Levo. What do you guys do?
Immediately, like when I see her start to turn, I do what I did before, was like kind of shake her out of it. I'm like, Levo, let's go. I mean, these plants don't really have any, use for you. I mean, you're not a wizard. These are just wizard plants. They have no bones. They have no meat. They have no utility purpose. So I think we should just get out of here, right?
Please stay with us. Play with us. Don't go, please.
Does that snap me out of it? Her shaking and talking?
Yeah. Her like accosting you. You're like, what?
All right, let's go. And she tells everybody, hold your breath. We can hold our breath long enough. Seems to be some sort of sweet smell or something. So let's just get out of here. So she'll hold her breath and try to walk out of the room.
I can hold my breath for 15 minutes. Watch.
You get to use it for real.
This is the second time you've been able to leverage this technique. But yeah, Cammy, you've already succeeded on your save, and so did Teruvian. So, you notice Levo starting to go back. You accost her and bring her out with you, and you successfully exit the Arboretum. What do you guys do?
I guess we'll keep going. The last room, so there's a staircase here, but on all the other doors on the first floor that we haven't gone in are on the other side.
They're all
the
on the
hallway,
right side.
back,
Yeah.
So past where we were, past the study.
Correct. So if you're looking, you come out of the Arboretum, you're looking down this hallway. You see the dining hall on your right. Past that, the kitchen. There's a stairwell. Past that's the study that you first entered. And then there are 2 more doors on the right that you've not explored. And there's a door at the far end of the hallway that you've not explored.
Well, that's 2 for 2 of fucked up rooms. I don't know. I don't like it. We were even on our guard and that hit us hard. We gotta keep looking. I'd say we go check out the other rooms because I don't know. Something's not right. I don't imagine that this was as designed.
So what do you do?
Waiting for their confirmation. Okay, I lead. I'll go first, and we'll walk down and the nearest door that we have not explored in the hallway. We're ignoring the stairs now, and we're going to go to that nearest door past the study and open it, but not step inside it just yet.
Okay, so you're going past the study. All right, this next room, you're just peering inside.
Yes, we're not going to go inside until we get a good look at it first.
Okay, you look in and you see a room containing a battered wooden mannequin and a weapon rack holding staves and daggers. It's all lit by indigo-tinted light streaming through the window. The floor is stained and scorched. At the far end of the room, a broom hovers in the air, sweeping the floor by itself.
So Cammy is going to, it's a joke, she's going to cast thaumaturgy on the mannequin and do like a ventriloquist act, like, you guys could come in here. I'm totally not going to attack you guys. As a joke. Like, obviously, it's her.
The mannequin has invited us in. Let us go. There are staves and daggers.
Levo doesn't understand jokes or turns of phrase.
All right, Batista. We should
It's a little Batista.
a little Batista or Drax, I guess. Not. I hope that Batista himself understands jokes.
Nope, that's why they cast him.
She sighs at his just total. Does not get any of her hilarious jokes. Might as well step in.
Okay, this clearly appears to be some kind of training or exercise room. And you see that mannequin. It looks to be like a dummy one would use to practice martial combat. You see different cuts and chips and scorch marks on it. You see a weapons rack in the corner, along with like a small shelf with some books and journals and such. You see some posters on the wall, and then that broom that's just going about its business, sweeping the floor.
I'm not going anywhere near that broom. Truvian kind of like nudges Cammy with his elbow.
Cammy will walk in and look at some of the training manuals and things like that, just to see if there's any that seem out of place, that don't belong here. And anything that catches her eye for the training manuals. We're looking for a book, I would assume. So that's what she's looking at.
Sure. Do you want to do like an investigation?
Sure. That is 10.
Yeah, so looking through, you see an interesting book. On the cover is a mage, kind of like comically drawn to be a little over muscled, a little over fierce. And the wizard has a staff in one hand and a dagger in the other. And the title is Attack and Parry Positions for Wielders of Staves and Daggers, written on the spine. And it seems to be a lengthy treatise on different techniques one could use using these weapons in conjunction with each other. You wondered if you studied it long enough, perhaps you could learn something new.
I don't really use stabs or daggers. Does anybody want to read up on this? It could be useful. I don't know. Might as well grab it, right?
If nothing else, perhaps those librarians would be interested in that. Or the scholars back in Candlekeep.
Right, well, I put it in my pack then. I grab it.
Okay, make sure you inventory one volume of Attack and Parry Positions for Wielders of Staves and Daggers.
Levo wants to look at the weapons rack. Is there anything interesting there?
Yes, so on the weapons rack, they are finely made weapons. You see 4 daggers, 4 quarterstaves, and 20 darts hanging in a leather bandolier on a weapons rack.
Can I examine the darts? What type of darts? These like low gun darts? Crossbow darts?
You know them to be the standard throwing dart, favored by rogues and assassins, particularly in the Underdark. They use such weapons. But there's like they're just like put in loops on a leather bandolier.
None of these are interesting to Levo.
I can use short swords and long bows.
So then Levo moves to the dummy and wants to look at it, pick at it with her fingernail a little bit and see kind of what it's all about.
Yeah. You examine the dummy and you notice, very target, just based off of your martial prowess and hunter's prowess as a lizard folk, you can see that this person has been practicing critical strikes and targeting, general weak points. You also see some scorch marks that might indicate, blasts of magical or, religious types of spells.
The fighter that practiced on this dummy seems proficient.
Is he a user of the weapons mentioned in the manual, do you think?
Yes, it would appear so. There are dents from quarterstaffs and stabbed marks from daggers, and scorch marks from some sort of magic. Maybe we should read that book to see how to defend against these types of attacks.
My thoughts exactly.
I take the book out and hand it to Levo, probably, or I guess to both of them. I don't really know exactly which one would be more suited, but it's definitely not me.
I'm not quite sure Levo can read, like, common, if it's in common. She can speak common. I don't know if she can read common. If she can, not well.
I'll scan through and see if I can find any tips. I have martial weapon training and might be able to figure some things out. So I guess Teruvian will take the book and start kind of flipping through it to see how valuable the content is based on what he already knows.
Yeah, I think maybe you go to the table of contents first, just to get an understanding of what the book is about and the contents within. Looking at it, it's a big book. If you were to, and there's a lot of illustrations and diagrams, it would take you a considerable amount of time to digest and be able to apply the information contained within this book. But it very much appears to be like a trainer's guide. Like, I want to learn how to fight this way, so I bought this book to learn how to do it. You bet it, with given enough time, maybe like a week or a month or whatever, you could read this book, learn these techniques and methods, and be able to apply them. Perhaps gaining maybe some kind of benefit, like a feat or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I like to leave that stuff open, but you won't be able to reap these benefits now. But if we ever pick this up again, we can explore that, essentially. That's kind of...
Okay, so Teruvian will kind of glance it over and tell the others that this fighter was certainly no beginner. This manual is quite detailed. It would take a great deal of focus and training to learn from it, so we'll hold on to it for now, and we'll just keep it.
Cool. Yeah, just note that you have that, and who knows what it'll bring in a future game. What else you guys doing?
Is there anything else in this room? I don't see anything. I mean,
there's a scary magic broom, like the chair that attacked me.
Yeah, let's probably leave that alone. I doubt it's a mimic. Mimics don't like doing chores, probably. But probably your standard enchanted sweeping broom. But yeah, I don't really want to mess with anything right now that I don't have to. And I can't imagine they have the magical password in the fighting room. So I guess we could just leave and go to the next door. So if there are no objections, that's what she starts to walk out the door. But once again, because every other time when they try to leave, somebody fights, she's like walking out carefully with her shield up still, just to make sure that mannequin's not going to come to life.
Yeah, Teruvian's like making big circles around inanimate objects for obvious fear-based reasons.
You notice as you guys leave, Teruvian, especially after you're like making these wide circles, the broom starts to kind of like go in the path that you guys have walked in already. Just kind of basically it's Roombaing behind you, cleaning up. But to you, Teruvian, I think it looks like it's following you.
All right, I'm definitely keeping my eyes on that GD cursed broom.
All right, and you're able to exit this training room without further incident. So moving down, do you just want to hit the next room? That's
the
next one over.
The next room right there.
Okay. The door to this room is closed.
Cammy will, put up her shield, take her free hand and open the door, but not walk in the room until she sees what's in there.
All right, you crack the door open, and immediately you can tell you are at the entryway to a massive library. Tall shelves filled with books line the walls of this room. 2 more shelves run through the middle of the room with a 10-foot wide aisle between them. Several stacks of books are piled high throughout the room. There are small reading desks with cozy scarlet chairs in the corners.
Soon as Cammy sees all the books, she just mutters to herself, way too many books to read. And I mean, guess it'd only be 2 of us too. Sorry, Levo, but I can't really imagine you being much help in this. Damn
I
it.
can look at the pictures.
All right, you got dibs on picture books. I'll remember that. Cammy takes a step in, and then does a perception check just to see, once again, if there's anything that just immediately sticks out as, just sticks out to her.
Okay. So go ahead and you're just doing a casual observation of the room. Kind of describe what you're doing a little bit.
So you're just looking if there's any books that are out and about, like sitting on the desk, or like a book that's sitting on a counter, or something like that. Like going one by one through these books is going to be painful. So she's looking of any book that just looks like, that catches her eye. That's the quick thing that just looks around. Any book that catches her eyes, odds are more likely to have it than a book that's just randomly on the shelf.
Yeah, roll perception.
12.
Okay, so you scan the room. There's books everywhere, but you kind of take like a broad peripheral view and then kind of hone in on like looking at the desks. And you notice on one of the sitting on one of the reading desks, there is a book, and it is closed. The spine is turned toward you, but this book looks very familiar to you, but it's a little bit far away, but like you're pretty sure you've seen this book recently. And in fact, you're almost confident it looks similar to the book that got you into this mess in the first place.
Very excitedly, she walks over to the book to pick it up.
Okay, so you walk over to go pick it up. Roll a dex save.
17.
So you're walking, and as you're kind of walking over to look at this book, there's just these heaping piles of books everywhere, and just a pile of them just fall over, like almost on top of you, but you just kind of with agility and alacrity, you just kind of dodge out of the way as these heavy books just kind of collapse.
Teruvian instinctually pulls out his short swords when he hears the loud commotion and is being super defensive.
Yeah, you saw Cammy kind of walk over, and then as she walked over, you saw this precariously piled tower of books just kind of like topple over and almost fall on top of her.
Cammy jumps back just in time. Even with all of her armor, she's still an elf, so she's a little bit more dexterous than your average person. And she turns back to him. She just like overly gestures, like swiping sweat off her brow, and goes, "Whew! I almost became a Cammy sandwich."
Classic Camwich.
She goes to the book and picks it up. Now that she's close enough to reach it.
Yep, you get close to the book. You notice that it has an on the spine, just instead of a title, it's just a large golden R. You notice on the cover, you see the same visage of the intense-looking wizard with the red gemmed inlaid eyes, in the same ornate sort of like drawings and patterns on the front.
Well, I mean, do you guys want to go right now? We haven't even checked upstairs, but this is a kooky, creepy mansion where everything seems to try to kill us or do bad stuff to us. So, I vote we get out of here as fast as possible, right?
We were charged with finding the password out, and nothing else.
Yeah, that's a good point. So Cammy is going to look through the book to see if there's any other, like how the other one had a highlight and arrows drawn to it, the scepter. She's looking if there's any other word that just jumps out when she scrolls through the book.
You open the book and all of the pages are blank.
Double fuck.
What's wrong?
We got a blank book here. I can't believe it's actually blank, but I'm not a wizard, so I don't know. Unlikely that it's actually blank, but does anybody have any way to see if there's some sort of spell or illusion on this book to hide some letters? I just don't know.
I know of drow magic, but that's it.
Cammy's gonna look around and see if there's anything pretty obvious nearby, like a lens or a light or something that may make the book legible, if there is anything written on it.
There's, aside from the large gold letter R on the spine, there's nothing else written on or in this book.
There's no like lens or anything nearby, or light, like a special, like a candle or something nearby that would maybe.
Sitting on the reading desk nearby, you see a jeweled letter opener.
Does anyone have any ideas?
Perhaps the instruments to read this book are not in this room.
As likely as any. Kim will go over and grab that jeweled letter opener just because it's the only thing else that like stands out, so she'll go grab it.
You go over and pick it up and feel its heft in your hand. Clearly it's made from the most extravagant materials, precious gold, ruby, maybe like silver is the metal, sharpened to a point. It is very fine. You feel like it's quite a nice piece of opulence. As you guys are talking and searching, I need you all to roll a dexterity check, a dexterity save.
I got a 4.
14.
17.
All right. So, Kimmy, you go over to, you see this jeweled letter opener. Your eyes light up, and you go over to examine it. Teruvian and Levo, you're kind of left to ponder these books, and distracted, another pile of books just topples over and falls on top of you, and you take 3 damage to Teruvian and 4 damage to Levo. Those books are real heavy, and all the corners seem to fall on top of you.
Oh, right on the noggin.
Kimi goes over to Teruvian because he's been hit a couple times already. So she asks him, do you need any healing? Are you fine, or how are you doing?
Perhaps a short rest?
Yeah. Between all of the inanimate objects that are kicking my ass today, might be nice to rest a bit. I think it makes sense that to view the book would be maybe in the study. Since, you take your books from your library and check them out in your study. Also might be a place where I could sit down for a moment there. So he's going to kind of collect himself and get up off the floor and kind of limp across the library a little bit, head towards the study.
Cammy, Levo?
I head back to the study.
Yep, Levo sticks with them.
As you guys exit, make another dex save.
8.
6.
19. My luck's going to run out here very soon.
All right, so Levo and Cammy, you kind of lead the way out. Teruvian is cautiously following behind, but Teruvian, I think maybe your injuries have slowed your reaction a little bit. Maybe those books to the head kind of dulled your senses. Because another pile of books, a huge heaping pile of books, falls down, and you take 4 damage.
Okay.
And like this pile of books falls, but it seems like it falls and then just like books keep moving and falling, and you just hear like the flittering of pages. Almost like if there's a cyclone in a library, like the pages just fluttering. What do you guys do?
Teruvian's gonna call out, this is no accident at this point. I feel like I'm under complete attack.
You've made it close to the door. What will you do?
I mean, he's like really dragging ass at this point, so he's just kind of gonna stop in the doorway and kind of like brace himself against it, out of breath and beat up.
Okay, you stop for a moment, and you see these books kind of coalesce into a floating pile of swarming books. It's standing, or it's not standing, it's kind of floating in the far part of the library where you were, where you had been examining the book you found on the table. It seems to be like absorbing more books, coming into its form, and it's slowly moving toward to the door toward you. What will you do?
Do I have to be in like active combat to use a spell or anything like that?
No, but if you use a spell, we'll definitely start initiative. But you could
Okay.
kick it off.
Okay, well, I mean, I'm gonna have to role play it. I think the player in me doesn't want to, but okay. So Teruvian, hurt and scared by the giant inanimate book monster forming in front of him, would attempt to use ensnaring strike to keep it where it is. Okay, that's my goal. Yeah. Okay, so then in that case, I will roll my attack from the longbow. 20 attack roll.
Cool. That is a hit. And then I believe you have to, I think it's just when it hits. Yep.
The next time you hit a creature, a writhing mass of thorny vines appears.
Yeah, it has
Target
to roll.
must succeed a strength saving throw or else be restrained.
So I'm guessing that the strength save is based on your spell save. So what's your spell save?
My spell save DC is 12.
Perfect. Thank you. Aha.
Oh, and if it's a large creature, it gets advantage on that saving throw, by the way, it says.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to let you role play this out. So essentially, like, you've been toppled over by these books. They've just been pouring on you. It seems like the on both sides, the shelves are just like flowing books, and you turn back around and you have maybe a little bit of fear, but maybe also a little bit of anger. I don't know. You tell us. You take this action. What do you do? Like, play it out for us.
Yeah. Okay. So he's like was headed towards the door and kind of like slumped up in the doorway, sees the books coalescing, and since he's pretty hurt, he's like definitely pissed, especially because all of this is super strange, not used to like fighting against things that aren't animals or like humanoids. So kind of haphazardly, a little recklessly, I guess, will quickly grab his bow and, leaning up against the door, do almost like a hip shot quickly and shoot just straight towards like what would be the main mass. Maybe if there's kind of like a shoulders forming or something like that, if it's a humanoid type form. So basically just like full on panic body shot towards the biggest target, hoping that the vines will grab all the books and save him.
I love it. So moving with desperation, you aim your shot, and despite the tense situation, your centuries of training with the bow have served you well. You loose an arrow, and it streaks straight for a thick, meaty tome of depicting a gargoyle shrieking with fiery red gem eyes, and the arrow pierces this book right in the eye, and immediately wreathing explosion of vines comes out, and it almost looks like it's clogging up the works as this thing's trying to form, and the books seem to be struggling as they are pushed away from this mass of vines. And it seems to be buying you a few moments. What do you do? So basically at this point, I'm kind of giving you the option, if you want to enter initiative and go into combat phase, we can do that, or you can choose other actions. I'm kind of giving you that option, but if you...
Okay. Can I feel like in his panic, he's shot from the hip, and really the goal is to just GTFO. So can I shoot as I like retreat out the door, or like?
Well, I'm kind of giving you that one free shot.
But I already attacked.
Yeah, I'm kind of giving you that one free shot as like a surprise round. But if you continue to assault this thing, like we have to enter initiative and combat. I'm kind of giving you like a little freebie.
Gotcha. I mean, I'll just shoot another arrow then.
Okay, everyone roll initiative. What's going to happen next in this great book battle that's unfolding? Find out next week as the party continues to punch their way through their problems as they uncover the secret to escaping this mysterious mansion. We're getting close to the end of this mystery. It's taken a little longer than we first expected, but we don't want to rush it. We want to explore and have fun with it. And we've been playing in shorter sessions so that we can get these episodes out on a weekly basis. And it has been a ton of fun playing these new mystery style adventures and tackling some new things with these actual plays. We hope that you've been enjoying the game too, and we hope that you're excited as we are to play the other adventures. Eric's got a really cool flavor for the next game, and I'm super stoked to try it. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts to get updates on the latest episodes, and if you're listening out there, we'd love to hear from you. Drop us a comment or send us a note to +1togaming@gmail.com and say hey, share your ideas, or suggest a topic for us to talk about. We love playing and making this show and talking about these things, and we really hope that we're adding some value to your games, but it's also cool to know, what's working for you and what isn't. So that's it for today's episode. Thanks so much for listening, and we'll catch you next time.